Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 wrestling talk show in the whole entire world. This is Ringside with Gio to bring you your Clash of Champions review, which took place on Sunday night. And we do have a lot of things to cover. This was actually a pretty good show. It exceeded expectations. Some of the matches were actually pretty good. I didn't catch the pre-show though, and I heard the AJ Styles match and this versus Cedric Alexander, which Styles won, was a really good match. It wasn't given that much time. I understand, of course, it's a pre-show match, so they probably did that, so there could be more type of matches in the future to come. But I heard it was a pretty good match, and the cruiserweight match, those people never failed to deliver. But yeah, I didn't watch the pre-show. I was actually pretty busy at the time, and now also I want to cover, before I cover the Clash of Champions pay-per-view, I want to talk about what happened this week with Raw and Smackdown. So, I was not able to cover those two shows. So, what we're hoping right now in modern sports media, what we're trying to do right now is eventually we start uploading on the same night as Raw and Smackdown air, and also when a pay-per-view airs as well, instead of uploading the next day at 3 o'clock or 5, because around those times we're pretty busy, so we don't have time to edit the video or upload them at all. So we're hoping to, I don't know if it's going to be this week coming up, but most likely it's going to be the following week that's coming up. So that's probably the move that we're probably going to be doing, so we can be more consistent with it, and you guys can get back-to-back bangers like you guys usually do. And now here is when I'm going to start now the review. So the show opens up with Roode and Dolph Ziggler versus Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman. So, you guys know how I feel about the tag team championships on the main roster. You guys know how I feel if you've been watching since the beginning of reviews and all that. So, Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman should have never been the Raw tag team champions to begin with. Nice voice crack. And Roode and Ziggler should have never been a tag team to begin with. Why aren't guys I don't know if the authors of pain are injured right now. I don't know if any of them are injured. If one of them are injured right now, or they both are, can you please say it in the comments, because I have no idea. I'll probably just Google it too after the show about what's after the review about what's happening with them. But if you could please leave a comment and tell me what's happening right now with the authors of pain and why they're not maybe getting used on TV. Let me know. I'm just as confused as you guys, so I don't know why a team like that isn't getting an opportunity. The Usos, you got guys like the Usos, you got so much talent in NXT, you got Heavy Machinery. Why aren't guys, or the OC, why are you getting two guys just from the main roster that haven't really done anything and then making them a tag team? That kind of really doesn't make sense to me. But Roode and Dolph Ziggler do win this match. And at one point in the match, Dolph Ziggler delivers a super kick to Braun Strowman, and then Bobby Roode's going to be coming in for the glorious DDT. I'm like, okay, he's going to land it. But Braun Strowman completely no-sells this super kick, and he just reverses the glorious DDT like if nothing ever happened, like if it was a normal super kick. And I kind of wasn't a fan of that attention to detail. I try to pick away the smallest things. And but towards the end of the match, I think Braun Strowman, when he came in, he hit, it was either Dolph Ziggler or Roode to Seth Rollins, and that I guess stunned Seth Rollins. Oh, he had Ziggler to Seth Rollins, I believe. And then Roode took advantage of that, hit him with the glorious DDT. 1, 2, 3. We have new Raw tag team champions, ladies and gentlemen, to open up the show. So after this was Bayley versus Charlotte Flair. This was it wasn't an eye-opening match. Didn't get you out of your seat. It's not something that you would tell your friends, hey, look, go back and watch that match. But it did get the job done. And like it says here on the notes, there was no shortage of intensity in this one, from Flair popping the hometown crowd with a big boot and a near fall off the opening bell to Bayley, further exploring her heel turn. So there was the match didn't really kick off in a certain type of way. Yeah, it started off really good. But what I mean by the intensity and the emotion, you didn't really see that much in here. I guess they're saving it for the future matches that are to come. Bayley does beat Charlotte Flair here in this match, and I actually thought Charlotte was gonna win. I really thought we were gonna see Charlotte win, and she didn't. Bayley, she was kind of like unbuckling the bottom turnbuckle on the top right part of the ring, and while the referee wasn't looking, and then like Charlotte Flair does a 360 like she's Kyrie Irving against the Golden State Warriors back when they were down 3-1, and she does a 360 past the referee, like a little spin, and she goes up to Bayley, and Bayley throws her against the bottom turnbuckle and pins her. She like rolls her up for a 1-2-3, and Bayley just like she runs away. Girl's running a 60 up the ramp when she wins the when she retains her title, and she just absolutely got out of there, and she retains the title. Next here was a SmackDown Tag Team Championships, the Revival versus the New Day. This was a good match. I actually enjoyed it. I had a good time watching this match. And at the beginning of the match, the Revival take out Xavier Woods, which was a significant part of this match and helping them beat the New Day to win those SmackDown Tag Team Championships. So they take out Xavier Woods earlier in the match, like right when the match is about to start. And then the match is then starting to pick up. It's getting really good. And Biggie, he does kind of like this, I don't really know the name for it. He does like this spear while the other guys on the other side of the apron, they both fall out. Well, the Revival were actually able to reverse that. Then they go outside of the ring. I believe it was Dash Wilder that went for the suicide dive. I forgot. I'm pretty sure it was Dash Wilder. And when he went for it, Biggie reversed it. He caught him in midair. Looked like he was going to go for probably for a back suplex or something like that. And the Revival reversed that, and then they hit him with the it says here. No, I was thinking about right now about what the Young Bucks used to say to I don't know why, because I'm looking here right now, FTR. Whenever I think about that, I just think now what the Young Bucks used to say about the Revival, and I know they can't say it anymore, but it just had me thinking of that. So yeah, no. Then the Revival hit Biggie Langston with his with their finishing move outside of the ring. And then they go back in, they hit Xavier Woods with it, but then they, with the Shadow Machine, and instead of going for the cover, I swear, I thought as soon as they didn't go for the cover, I'm like, alright, Biggie's gonna go in, stop the Revival from like hitting Xavier Woods with the submission, with the figure 4 leg lock, and I was wrong. He tapped out at the end, and if he would have gone to the rope, I would have been shocked. That would have made no sense, because he just got hit with the Shadow Machine. So if he couldn't get up for the Shadow Machine, you mean to tell me now he's going to fight through a figure 4 leg lock when his leg's already hurt and he just took probably the best tag team finishing move in the whole entire industry? Arguably compared next to the Young Bucks, it didn't really make sense. But that would have not made sense. But good thing here, the Revival do win, but attention to detail. The Revival used to be on Raw. I guess now they're moving to SmackDown. There needs to kind of be a better explanation of this. I know the wild card rule is ending after the draft. So the good thing here is that the Revival now are going to be with Randy Orton. That's the good thing. And we're going to see the Revival get more TV time, especially because of Randy Orton. Like, it's Randy Orton. He's always on TV. And, so the Revival do win. And it's good to see them back with the title. Next year was the Women's Tag Team Championship match. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Fire and Desire, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. So Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross do win this match. When Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose hit their finishing move, I actually thought they were gonna win. I thought it was over because I know Nikki Cross was out of the outside ring, and I know they had a move on her as well. I thought she was already gonna be out of the match. I thought she was done for, but then she comes in, stops the pin, and then Nikki Cross picks up. She picked up and Mandy Rose puts her on the rope, hits her with the finishing move. That's the match. Alexa Bliss, and Nikki Cross do retain. Next year now. Oh, and also during that match, the R-Truth was running around the ring with Carmella, with the goons chasing behind them. And shout out JD from NY206. I know he loves using the word goons. I had to use it. I'm a big fan. And and the goons were chasing R-Truth and Carmella, and when they were chasing, then they were like running around the ring and stuff like that, and he has a 24/7 championship, and he just escaped with that one, and Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross do defeat Fire and Desire, and that's the end of that. Next here was Shinsuke Nakamura defeating The Miz. So, Shinsuke Nakamura has Sami Zayn in ringside. You guys know how I felt about Sami Zayn in my last SmackDown live review. It was kind of like a little bit of a small rant. You won't really see me rant that much. I'm a happy guy. But you could see Nakamura and Zayn here. Like I could just tell they're already going to be annoying in this match. Nakamura though is a complete badass. Like this guy just goes out there and he just does not care. I really like his entrance and the heel Nakamura. I preferably like the babyface Nakamura, but I'm completely fine with heel Nakamura. How he just comes out with the lights flashing and I think he had like a cape around him or something like that. It was pretty cool. But Sami Zayn is doing his thing outside, and it was kind of growing on me what he's doing now because it's pretty funny. But when they cut the mic, I kind of felt relieved. But then when I saw it more on the outside of the ring, messing around with the Miz, I was like, all right, this is actually pretty funny. It's like it's a good heel thing. It's really old school. So I'm giving it a chance. I'm giving Sami Zayn heel another chance, but he has to win matches. If he's not winning matches, then what's the point? It makes no sense. And he's just gonna be a dummy out there. He's just gonna be a punching bag. It don't make no sense. But Nakamura does defeat The Miz. The Miz, congratulations. You have won the idiot of the night. You used to be a heel. I just don't understand how this was booked basically. So The Miz used to be a heel. He's been a heel 90% of his career. He knows what heel managers are gonna do. His wife Maurice, heel manager, especially when he was Intercontinental Champion, she would interfere in matches. I just don't understand why he allows himself to get distracted by Sami Zayn. I don't know why they booked that. It's kind of like he should know already. Like they booked it in a way that he just was shocked. Sami Zayn interferes, then he's going for Sami Zayn, and then he gets Kinshasa in the back of the head, and that cost him the title. Now, next here was probably the second, or you could even argue the best part of the show. Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch. So, Becky Lynch did win this match via disqualification, but the reason so is because Sasha Banks has Becky Lynch on the ground. She goes to the outside of the ring, gets a steel chair as if she's going to hit Becky Lynch. And then when she goes in, Becky Lynch gets out of the way, and Sasha Banks, my mistake, not Sasha Banks. Becky Lynch actually picks up the chair. She takes advantage of the fact that Sasha Banks brought it in. And Becky Lynch swings at Sasha. Sasha ducks it, and she hits the referee. It was an awkward spot, but the referee just went completely down. And when she hit him with the chair, they just went to the crowd. And this was awesome, actually. Shout out to the crowd as well. These people, they let them do their thing. They weren't annoying. They weren't really interfering. They weren't getting in the camera's way. And they just let these two women go at it. They went all the way up. They went all the way to the concession stands. Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch putting on a classic in the outside of the ring. And they were all over the place. And some people might say that it was pretty chaotic and it was kind of forced. But I would disagree. I think this was really good and this was needed. WWE kind of put themselves in a position that they had no other choice to have this match end up like this, because this match was booked early. You should not really book this match just yet. You maybe could have actually waited until Survivor Series. You probably didn't even need this match at Hell in a Cell. But one could argue that. But Lynch retains the title. She wins via disqualification after hitting the referee. But this is brought to while they were outside in the crowd and all that, they went back in. Becky Lynch has Sasha Banks in the arm bar, and with the steel chair. It was a pretty cool spot. You would have to see it. She had it in the steel chair, and referees start coming out. Security starts coming out to break it up, and you could already imagine how that ended. And next here was I was shocked about the outcome of this. Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton. Kofi Kingston retains the title, pinning Randy Orton with the Trouble in Paradise. I actually thought there wasn't going to be a winner in this match. I actually thought it was going to be either a double countout or Kofi Kingston winning via disqualification, because I thought Randy was going to piss off Kofi Kingston to a certain extent and having him basically lose the title. But I actually do expect these two to go at it one more time and probably going to be in Hell in a Cell. And Kofi Kingston, He hits after Orton took so long and missed a running punt to the head. Kingston countered with the Trouble in Paradise for the pin. Seeing Orton at the end, so basically Orton basically took his time. He messed up at the end. He wanted to go for the punt, and that cost him. And, you know, Kofi Kingston hit him with the Trouble in Paradise. That was the end of it. Small. And I expect them to have a match show later on, like in another pay-per-view. I don't think this is the end of the rivalry. And I actually hope it's not. I'm actually enjoying the rivalry that they have right now, and the feud that they have going at it against each other. So I hope this doesn't end. Next here was King Booker interrupts the Street Profits. This was the funniest part of the show. You could even argue that with what Sami Zayn was doing today. That was pretty funny as well. I'll even say that. But, you know, the Street Profits were giving their Clash of Champions recap. They're doing all that. And, And it was pretty good. Booker, he goes in there and he's like, he says this saying that he always does. Can you dig that, sucker? And then he says that to the Street Profits. And they were just having a good time. It was pretty funny, but nothing really important happened there. I would like to see the Street Profits though get a match later on in the future. I would love to see it because as it's getting to a point that you gotta start putting these guys on competition in the main roster. I know what their mic work is like. I know the promos they could cut. Matter of fact, I want them to continue doing this, but I know eventually WWE's gonna do them right. I could tell WWE likes these guys. I can tell that they see a lot of potential in them. They're using them a lot, especially to promote things, and that's a great sign for the Street Profits. None of you have to worry at all once the Street Profits get to Raw or SmackDown. They're going to be used greatly. I think they're going to have great careers on the main roster. Next here was Eric Rowan defeating Roman Reigns via pinfall. This was actually a pretty good match as well. And This was a pretty good match as well. So, Roman Reigns and Eric Rowan completely exceeded expectations. I thought this was going to be the bathroom break match, go walk my dog match. Let me come back when it's done, go check if it's done, if it's not. Let me go do something else. But I'm watching this match, and they're going to the outside of the ring. I'm like, wait. Time out. This is actually pretty good. They're going out. It's a chaotic match. Eric Rowan hits Roman Reigns in the back of the head with the bell. It was really good. Eric Rowan, matter of fact, goes when they go, by where that King of the Ring chair is. It wasn't there tonight, but you know what I'm talking about. And he gets the camera like how he did on SmackDown, throws it at Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns reverses and he picks up like this metal stick, swings at him like if he's Aaron Judge or something right now with that hot streak that he's on. By the way, Aaron Judge, keep up the great work, man. We're about to clinch AL East in the next homestand against the Angels. I can't wait. But let me get back on this. So he swings the metal stick, whatever he was using, and it was a pretty good hit. And he hits him also with the Superman punch. Tries to get Eric Rowan back in the ring. He throws him even more down the ramp as he tries to lead him to the middle of the ring. And then out of nowhere, you just see Luke Harper come. And Luke Harper, he just completely devastates Roman Reigns. He completely leveled him. They bring him to the middle of the ring. And I guess Luke Harper and Eric Rowan are back as a faction. I guess that's the case. And, that cost Roman Reigns a match. And, Eric Rowan hits him with the claw slam for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Rowan wins. And that's another tag team added to WWE. That's another tag team. And they can't mess that up. So, one thing to take out of this. Eric Rowan's back. I remember reading not too long ago on Twitter that Vince McMahon was paying Luke Harper to stay at home. As soon as I read that, I told myself, I'm like, there's no way. I know what Luke Harper's capable of, and I know Luke Harper was injured. And I just didn't believe that report. Matter of fact, I was expecting him to later on come on in with either Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan, or just with Eric Rowan. I didn't think it was going to be in this pay-per-view. And that actually threw me off a little bit, but I didn't believe that report that Vince McMahon was paying Luke Harper to stay home, and because he just didn't know what to do with him on the main roster. But Luke Harper helps Eric Rowan defeat Roman Reigns. And another thing I could take out of this, Daniel Bryan might be going out to a babyface and playing along his side now with Roman Reigns. I would love to see Daniel Bryan being back to a babyface. I would love it. I prefer him like that. But as a heel, he was great as well. His run as a heel, this past heel run was phenomenal. And it was really good. At the end was my favorite part of the show. Seth Rollins versus Braun Strowman for the Universal Championship. Seth Rollins defeats Braun Strowman with, I believe it was 4 curb stomps. He had 3, and when Braun Strowman kicked out of the third one, I was like, Jesus Christ. This guy is like, he kicked out of 3, not even Lesnar kicked out of 3. And he kicked out of 3, and I was like, okay, I will say this. This is the best match Braun Strowman has had on the main roster. The best match I've seen him have. And before, he hit him with these 3 curb stomps, Seth Rollins kind of like suicide dived into him like about 2 to 3 times. And Strowman, I believe, went through the table. It was actually a pretty cool spot. And Seth Rollins then brought him all the way to the other announce table that he put Lesnar through when he jumped off and did that frog splash. And when he went there, Strowman just completely got out of it, went up to the turnbuckle, threw Seth Rollins, got on top of the turnbuckle, and then Strowman hits Rollins with a frog splash, and it was unbelievable. And he actually landed it. That was really impressive for a big man. That was fascinating to see. But Rollins did kick out, and eventually Rollins does hit him with the 3 curb stomps, and he did kick out. But on the 4th one, Rollins won, and Rollins completely manhandled Strowman at the end. Rollins looked like an absolute beast. This is the best Rollins has looked, in my opinion, in his whole entire career. You could argue maybe he looked better when he was a heel, but I think this is the best he's ever looked. Maybe I'm being a little biased because y'all know Seth Rollins is my favorite wrestler in the world, in the whole world. I believe arguably he is the best wrestler in the world. You could argue many guys with him, but that's just my opinion. And after that, when he goes to the ramp, I don't know where the lights come off. And I'm like, oh, I know where this is going. Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, in parentheses, is like behind Rollins. He puts him in the Sister Abigail position, hits him with it. Lights go off. Then they go back on again. Lights are flickering, and he's holding Seth Rollins' head like he hadn't finished already. And then he takes out the mandible claw, and he uses it on Seth Rollins. Show closes out. Now, I knew Seth Rollins was going to win this match because I saw leaks on Twitter of Seth Rollins versus The Fiend for Hell in a Cell, and I think live events as well. So I was like, okay, yeah, they're already promoting it. So this WWE also, once again, I don't want to say that they booked themselves into a corner because they're using Bray Wyatt, right? But now you can't have Bray Wyatt lose. And now Rollins beat Lesnar, and he went through all that. So I'm not going to say Rollins is a transitional champion in this current run, but you kind of booked yourself into a position that The Fiend has to win. You can't have Seth beat The Fiend in his second match that's actually going to be major now for a championship, and it's going to be a Hell in a Cell. So, what I think should happen at WrestleMania: Aleister Black, Randy Orton, WWE Championship, and for the Universal Championship, The Fiend versus Demon King Finn Balor. You have Aleister Black win, and you have The Fiend win. Nobody's beating Demon King on the main roster. This will take Bray Wyatt to so many levels right now. I'm even going to say this. The Fiend is the best thing that's happening right now in WWE. Not Seth Rollins. Not being biased, you see? The Fiend right now is the best thing to happen right now in WWE. And yeah, guys, that's your Clash of Champions review. I really hope you guys liked. Leave a like, subscribe, notifications on, drop a comment, tell me what you thought about this video, and tell me what do you guys think could make the channel better in general, or the show better in general. Just give us your feedback, your support, share it to your friends. Ringside with Gio. Remember what I say. We'll be the #1 wrestling talk show in the whole entire world, if it's not already. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and take care. I'll see you tomorrow for your Monday Night Raw review. Have a nice night.